Welcome into the Oklahomans video studio. Dave Morris here, joined by Lauren Branch. She's the president and CEO of NewView Oklahoma, and we're here to learn all about NewView today. It's great to see you.
Well, it's great to see you too. Thanks for having me.
I don't think I had met you before today. However, very nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you too.
And you had mentioned that you had been here in the Oklahoman before and that you've been with NewView for 20 years?
I have been there 20 years. I know it's hard to believe.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Let's start with the basics. Tell me about NewView.
So NewView is the only private agency in the state that provides specialized services for people who are losing their vision or lost their vision. And so we're very excited to be here and very excited to be able to provide these services to Oklahomans who are having problems with their sight.
And before we dive into those services, because it's an impressive amount of services that you provide, what got you into NewView?
You know, it really was quite by accident. I kind of fell into the job. I was, my previous job had relocated to Florida and I was looking for a job, and so
You didn't want to go with Florida?
Well, you know, not really. I mean,
Okay.
it was to Destin, Florida, and not a bad place.
I was about to say, it's not a terrible place.
Yeah, not a great place though when you've got 4 young children. So, you know,
good
I was
point.
married, my husband was here. So really just looking for a job, had no experience with people who are blind, but you know, it took about 10 minutes, you know, in the agency to recognize that it was something that I could really be passionate about.
So what did you learn? If you hadn't dealt with people who have some vision impairment, what was one of the first things you learned?
Well, I learned that people who are blind can do anything. So it was very, it was very eye-opening to be able to come in there and see what, well, you know, we used to be Oklahoma League for the Blind.
I was about to say, it's gone through some transitions.
Right, it has gone through some transitions. So when I started, it was Oklahoma League for the Blind, but it was really, like I said, it was something that I could really get passionate about. And I think at that time too, I was a little bit burned out in corporate world. And so, you know, it felt good to me to be able to go to a place where I could utilize my skill set and then also feel like I was, you know, giving back in some way. I have to say though that it was a pretty tough job. I thought it would be a little bit easier.
I can't imagine, but I got to think that there's a lot of fulfillment in it.
Oh yeah, you know, I really do tell people that, you know, in the 20 years that I've been there, that there hasn't been a day that I've gotten up in the morning that I haven't wanted to go to work. I mean, I really do love it that much. And
that's great.
Doesn't mean it's easy, you know, I mean, there's been some really difficult times, but I really, really do love what I do, and I love to be at NewView.
My dad, towards the end of his life, he had macular degeneration, so he lost his vision, and I remember him telling me, he's like, Dave, losing your eyesight is really the toughest thing, and he had some other health issues towards the end as well, but the eyesight really affected his quality of life, I guess.
It does, and you know, it's interesting that you bring up your dad and having macular degeneration, because the largest number of people we serve through our vision rehabilitation services are seniors who are losing their vision to age-related eye diseases. And so, you know, it really is fulfilling to be able to see the impact that we make every day on our senior population, being able to keep them safe and independent and doing the things that they love to do.
Yeah, I think that's a key, that they're able to continue with life activities, I guess.
Well, and that's what it's really all about. I mean, I think that, you know, I go back, I mean, a number of years ago, I was asked to do a television interview, and it was really about age-related eye disease and macular degeneration. And you know how, you know, because you're a reporter, you know, they'll give you a list of questions, you know, about 10 minutes before you go in, just to kind of give you a heads up. And the very first question on there was, so you've been diagnosed with macular degeneration, should I go ahead and start looking at nursing home facilities? And I mean, and that was literally the first question on the page. And it was like, you know, time out. We need to talk about something different, because people who are losing their vision have options, and it is about keeping people doing the things that they love to do and maintaining their quality of life, and whatever that means to an individual. And so, you know, we work with people in their homes, in their home environments, on the goals that they want. So if they want to continue to go to church, read their Bible, cook, so we got a guy back ranching again. I mean, he was losing his vision to macular degeneration. He'd really given up on taking care of his ranch. He was having problems with his horse barns and things like that. So, our staff went in there and really helped him. He's back on his horse again. I mean, he's able to organize his things. He's still able to do the things he likes. Makes a huge difference for people.
You guys have those eye charts. It's not a chart, but it's, hey, you could look through this and here's an example of what someone may be seeing from their. It's interesting to see those. It's like, okay, is that what my dad's vision looks like, kind of butter or something?
Right, yeah, for someone with macular degeneration like your dad had, that you lose your ability to see detail. So they lose their central vision. So, seeing faces, reading print, those detail kind of things go away. And, with other eye conditions, I mean, you may lose your peripheral vision and just, have tunnel vision. Interestingly enough, most people who are determined to be legally blind have some usable vision. And so, we really work with people to improve the functionality of the vision that they have left. Now, we also provide services to people who are totally blind, but we really want to meet people where they are and determine what usable vision they have and how they can best use that vision to maintain their day-to-day activities.
We're chatting with Lauren Branch. She's the President and Chief Operating Officer at NewView Oklahoma. I never really could tell towards the end how much vision my dad had. We'd be watching basketball and he could say, yeah, someone hit that shot, or then he would ask, hey, what's the score? So it's like, okay, where's the detail at? We talked about the services. You guys also offer programs. What's the word I'm looking for here? The manufacturing side of the business. Tell us more about that.
Well, so NewView Oklahoma is the largest employer of people who are blind in the state of Oklahoma. So out of the almost 140 jobs that we have, over 80 of the people who work for us are blind. And so we're just very, very excited to be able to provide job opportunities. The unemployment rate amongst people who are blind or visually impaired is over 70%, and so most working age adults with vision impairment are unemployed. And so, we're able to provide a number of job opportunities and continue to look for more job opportunities so that we can provide more employment. The reality of it is that we will never be able to provide all of the jobs that would need to be provided to really make significant reductions in that unemployment rate. And so it's important for us to educate our community partners and businesses as to the capabilities of people who are blind and work with other companies too, to create opportunities within their businesses so that more people who are blind or visually impaired can obtain meaningful employment.
Your website is newviewoklahoma.org, and I'm assuming there's more resources and information on
there
that
is.
if there's a company like us that wants to learn more about it. But what about people who, and good job there, Paige, pulling up that website. But what about people who are looking for employment opportunities? I'm assuming the information's on the website as well.
They can just go to our website, or they can give us a call. I mean, I know that we keep all of our job postings on our website. I know that we have open positions right now, and so if someone's interested in employment, just give us a call and we'd be happy to visit with them about it.
We mentioned the name change. You also have a new home, right?
Well,
we're working on it.
We're working on a new home. Our low vision clinic and vision rehabilitation center that we currently occupy up on Wilshire, we've outgrown, and so we have purchased a new building to do a clinic and program expansion, and so we are in the process of raising money to support the renovation efforts. We're hoping to have the rest of the money raised by the end of this year and then be able to start construction. It's a 27,000 square foot facility, and very, very excited about some of the things that we're going to be able to do. We're going to be putting in a retail store. We're going to have a larger technology center to be able to train people on assistive technology. We're putting in an adaptive training kitchen, so that we can, do classes and create a sense of community, specialized pediatric services, specialized neurological services. We're expanding the number of vision exam lanes that we have, and specialized diagnostics. It's just a really exciting time for us. I mean, to be able to provide more services to our community in a way that we can really drive a sense of community here in central Oklahoma.
That new facility would be located in the Northwest 43rd and Classen area in Oklahoma City, and I'm assuming if people want to help out money-wise or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Just give us a call. We would be happy. And we would love to show people what we're doing there. I think one of the really interesting things that we're doing with this facility is we've worked with an architect, a gentleman who's blind out of San Francisco, who, after he lost his vision, really wanted to devote his career to creating accessible spaces, and not in a way that is, I mean, I think when people talk about accessibility, they think of ADA, but in a way where you're thinking from the beginning, how can we make our public spaces and building spaces more accessible to people with vision impairments? Like, how do we use textures to define how you travel through a space? How can we do the lighting different? How can we, create acoustical cues within the space? And so we're pretty excited about some of those features that are going to be incorporated into the building, because not only will we be able to provide services there, it will be a teaching space for our community to learn about how we can make our communities more accessible. And when we do that, it's just a better experience for everyone.
Way more inclusive for
Way
everyone.
more inclusive.
You have a couple of camps. We've been talking about perhaps more of our elderly, but you also have camps for the kiddos in the Tulsa area and the Oklahoma City area, and the deadline to apply for those is coming up.
It is, and so the sooner you apply for them, the better. Our first camp is in June, and the really cool thing about this camp is we do water sports, and so the kids learn how to do adaptive water skiing, wakeboarding, inner tube, and because of the that type of camp, that's why we limit it to our older kids.
Sure.
But this year we're doing it out at like 10 Keller. We're very excited about it, and we also incorporate in this camp a lot of independent living skills too. So not only do the kids get to have fun and they learn how to water ski and do all that fun stuff, but we work on getting them independent living training, because these are the kids that are getting ready to graduate
Sure.
high school, are going to be looking forward to the workforce or to higher education, and so they really need to be focusing on how they can live independently. And so it's just a really exciting time for us.
I'm sure it's pretty exciting for them too, to be out on the water.
Oh yeah. I mean, we've got sighted adults and sighted kids that obviously don't get the opportunity to do this stuff. But there's nothing more exciting than getting these kids out there behind a boat and up on the skis. It's a pretty phenomenal camp, and has been very, very well received. I mean, we generally fill that camp up pretty darn quickly.
Kids ages 8 through 14 have a camp here in the Oklahoma City area up at UCO.
I think it's our 18th year
Wow.
of this summer camp, and so we do it with our younger kids. We dorm them. It's an overnight camp. We dorm them at UCO, and then we do a number of activities throughout the community all week. It's a lot of fun. It's a big camp, and we're very excited to be able to continue to partner with UCO to be able to put this on. They've been very great in working with our agency and our kiddos.
Application deadline coming up April 29th. Again, more information at newviewoklahoma.org. You also have a transition camp, the Keys to Work Residential Transition Institute, July 9th through the 21st. That's up in Tulsa.
It is. So these are for our teenagers, and so what we're doing, and this is open to kids statewide. And what this is really a residential living camp where we're teaching our teenagers how to live independently. And so some of the things that they're going to be doing, we're going to be putting them up in like a residential extended stay hotels, so they can, start. I mean, and this is fully staffed, so that the kids are safe. We teach them how to use public transportation. We teach them how to use Uber apps, how to do online grocery shopping. We work a lot on technology interview skills, resume writing, cooking, nutrition, medication management, just a lot of different activities that really is geared to prepare them to live away from home, so that they can live independently at college. They can get their own apartment, when they're ready to start working. And so it's very, very exciting. We got some of the funding through United Way of Tulsa to start this. This is going to be our first year to do the residential type camp, and so we're very, very excited to be able to offer this to our kiddos.
That sounds like some skills we should all have.
No kidding.
Transitioning out of high school, right?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about, when we were working with the kids, but man, I want to learn how to do online grocery shopping and,
right?
And be able to go pick it up and stuff like that. I mean, it's things that I hadn't even really thought about, but, for the kids now, I mean, technology has been a game changer just across the board for our kids in terms of how they can access their educational opportunities, through assistive technology. I mean, just the ability to grocery shop online and jump in an Uber car and
a game changer, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, it's just amazing.
She's Lauren Branch, the President, Chief Operating Officer with NewView Oklahoma. Lauren, I've enjoyed the conversation and learned a lot here. Thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you.
And best of luck moving forward.
All right, appreciate it.